Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're diagnosing a massive, often completely hidden operational drain in commercial facilities, and that's the constant, incredibly expensive cycle of wall maintenance. If you manage real estate, healthcare facilities, or retail rollouts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those peeling, bubbling, fading walls, they aren't just an eyesore, they're literally eating up your capital and maintenance budgets. As experts in this space, we constantly see organizations making the exact same costly mistakes with legacy materials. So today, we're going to fix that.
Here's a quick look at our agenda. We'll kick things off with the commercial wall trilemma, take a peek inside direct-to-wall technology, evaluate its real-world performance, break down the total cost of ownership, and finally, pinpoint exactly when you should make the switch.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the commercial wall trilemma.
So why exactly do modern commercial walls constantly fail? Well, historically, when you're updating commercial spaces, you've essentially been forced into making an impossible choice. You had to pick between speed, durability, and cost. If you wanted something fast, it just wouldn't last. If you wanted something truly durable, it cost an absolute fortune and took weeks. There was simply no way to win. And this really illustrates the historic compromises we've been stuck with for decades. Take vinyl, for example. Sure, it's fast to install, but the seams bubble and the adhesive just peels away within 3 to 5 years, especially if you're in a humid environment. Then you've got hand-painted murals. They give you great durability and a premium feel, absolutely, but they demand weeks of expensive downtime, and the results are completely inconsistent if you're trying to roll a design out across, say, 20 different locations. And wallpaper, it gives you a high-end look on day one, but it absorbs stains, and the moment it meets moisture or heavy cleaning, it literally disintegrates. It's a massive liability.
Let's move right along to Section 2, inside direct-to-wall technology.
We're going to lift the hood on this process because understanding the mechanics is really the key to seeing why legacy systems are completely obsolete. Step 1 is substrate assessment and priming. Now, this works directly on drywall, CMU block, concrete, or even brick. That means we get to skip the costly prep work that other solutions demand. Step 2 is where the magic happens. Using industrial-grade inkjet technology, the design is printed in a single pass, layer by layer, right onto the wall at a massive 1200 dpi resolution. It's not just a giant sticker slapped on top of the wall. It essentially becomes part of the wall itself. And finally, Step 3. A protective, highly cleanable top coating is applied to seal the deal.
The operational reality of this tech is just striking. Because we're printing directly onto the substrate, there are 0 seams to peel, 0 adhesive to fail. And remarkably, a typical installation drops to under 5 hours from start to finish. Think about that. Compare that to the 12 to 24-hour disruption of vinyl or the 3 to 5 days required for hand-painted work. For occupied spaces, like schools or active hospital corridors, this kind of speed is a total game changer. You don't even have to shut down operations.
Okay, Section 3, performance and impact. So how does this actually hold up in the field? Because the ink is bonded directly to the substrate and sealed with a high-performance top coat, it actively resists the absolute harshest elements of commercial wear and tear. We're talking immunity to food stains in retail food courts, serious defense against heavy cartwheel abrasion in hospital hallways, and resistance to UV fading in those big, high-window lobbies. But most importantly for healthcare and education, it easily withstands repeated scrubbing with hospital-grade disinfectants like bleach and quaternary ammonia. Seriously, try wiping down traditional commercial wallpaper with bleach and see what happens. It destroys it. Direct-to-wall handles it completely effortlessly. And let's not forget, sustainability is now a core procurement criterion for almost everybody. Just look at this comparison. A standard vinyl removal requires harsh chemical strippers and generates anywhere from 800 to 2,000 pounds of toxic petrochemical landfill waste for just a 5,000 square foot space. It's terribly inefficient. Direct-to-wall, on the other hand, generates virtually 0 waste. We're using low-impact ink and primer directly on site. No offcuts, no failed panels, and definitely no heavy adhesive buckets going straight to the dump. Moving on to Section 4, total cost of ownership. Let's look at a real-world 10-year life cycle for a 2,000 square foot space. Now, vinyl might seem slightly cheaper up front, but trust me, it's a trap. Over 10 years, vinyl's going to fail and require 2 to 3 full installations. You have to pay for chemical stripping, wall repair, disposal, and then entirely new materials. That pushes your 10-year cost up to $26,000, and that's not even counting the massive operational disruption. Direct-to-wall sits in an exact same 10-year budget window, $20,000 to $26,000, but you're getting a single, highly durable install. And when you finally want to refresh it around year 8, it's a simple $6,000 to $8,000 paint over and reprint. 0 stripping, 0 wall damage. I really want you to remember this number, 7 to 10. That number represents the years of vibrant, durable life you're going to get from a direct wall graphic under normal commercial use. Vinyl starts to noticeably color shift and peel at year 3. Direct wall effectively cuts your replacement cycle in half. It radically reduces your cumulative maintenance labor and entirely eliminates those $500 emergency service calls just to patch up a peeling seam. And finally, Section 5, when to make the switch. If you operate in any of these scenarios, legacy coverings are basically an active operational bottleneck for you right now. Healthcare and education facilities desperately need this for the intense cleanability. If you're handling tenant transitions or fast lease-ups, you need that 5-hour speed so you aren't losing days of rent. Managing multi-location retail rollouts, you demand pixel-perfect consistency across 50 stores, which hand painting is never going to give you. And lastly, if your institution has strict sustainability commitments, shifting away from petrochemical vinyl is just a massive, easy win for your ESG goals. We've seen this firsthand out in the field. We've walked into facilities where outdated vinyl was slated for removal, and let me tell you, the sheer nightmare of stripping old adhesive, repairing all those drywall gouges, and managing the toxic waste alone completely justifies upgrading to direct-to-wall printing for your next refresh. In fact, one hospital system we looked at found they spent more on vinyl replacement cycles over 12 years than they would have on a single permanent direct-to-wall installation. Crazy, right? Which leaves us with this final thought. Take a look around your facilities today. Are your commercial walls working as a durable, beautiful asset for your brand, or are they really just a liability, quietly waiting for its next expensive replacement cycle? Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. We really hope this deep dive empowers you to make smarter, more sustainable capital planning decisions for your facilities moving forward. Catch you on the next one.